Hi, it's Leo again, chatting with you for a few minutes on our blog with notes from the ARC. And today it's about the tax reform bill, what everybody's talking about. You know how I look at it? What did Congress really get done this week? What's the big deal? I mean, I guess if you want more money in your paycheck, it is a big deal. I get that part of it. But given that we've lowered taxes over the past 10 years while fighting 3 wars, it's sort of like buying a second house and quitting your day job and hoping that a part-time job will make things work. Why we're worried about the tax reform bill is it takes another $1.5 trillion out of play in the federal budget over the next decade. That's real money, I would think. And why, again, are we worried? Because Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, they're all going to be potentially issues. Outside of our space, people worry about education, though it's related, obviously, to people with disabilities too. Beyond our space, transportation infrastructure, and of course the major liabilities that cities and towns face in all kinds of expenses that the federal government has been a partner in paying. And again, partnership is the key word. Medicaid is a partnership program for people with disabilities. So what will the Senate bill do? Not only does it help reduce this 1.5 trillion, but it also takes away the mandatory insurance regulation for all individuals. Why is that important? Because if you're someone with a disability and you lose your job and you had health insurance through it, guess what? Your premium is going to be potentially 10 to 30% higher when you try to get health insurance again. And you don't have to believe me about this. Kaiser Family Foundation released a report in 2015 that there were 26 million people in the category of losing their insurance and potentially being in a high-risk payment pool for insurance. That's one example. The House bill actually takes away your medical expense deduction. Well, if you have children with disabilities, adults with disabilities, that's a pretty big deal, okay? It takes away the disabled access credit called DATC. The House bill, again, takes away the work opportunity tax credit, which encourages employers to hire people with disabilities. It reduces the affordable housing production under the low-income housing tax credit. It reduces incentives for charitable contributions. Well, I guess at the ARC we would care about that to the extent that you care about it in making a charitable contribution to us. It repeals or limits orphan drug credits. And I won't get into explaining all that. We can do that another time. And it also, on the Senate side, by the way, both bills do that. One repeals it, one limits it. And the creation of an inadequate paid leave tax credit is actually removed in the Senate bill. So all in all, we have a problem here. And again, what did we get done? Did we address the burgeoning responsibilities we have for our generation and the next? Did we address our true domestic needs, issues of shelter on the east and west coasts, the affordability of health care in all of this? I don't think so. In fact, we're going to make health care more expensive for people who lose their jobs and or transition from one health care plan to another. Hang in there with us. For those of us in Massachusetts, thank our congressional delegation and ask them to keep up the fight. For those of you out of state that have family and friends, please ask them to let's stop this tax reform bill from going ahead. Take care, have a good weekend despite this news, and look forward to talking with you again next week.